this is Chloe, and today in my 17th crochet along, I'll be showing you how to crochet the loop stitch in a circle and in a regular square. So let's get started. Here are the materials. Some size 4 medium weight yarn. This can be just any type of yarn. A size I 5.25mm crochet hook and scissors. So let's get started. To start off, take your yarn. I will just be making, so first we're going to make the regular square loop stitch. So you can make this be any size you want, but I'm just making a sample. So make a slip knot. To do this, take the end of your yarn and wrap it around your finger twice. And then pull each loop over the other, like this. Now we can just chain however many chains we want. This is going to be the width or the length of the loop stitch square. I'm going to chain 6, and then you can chain one more, so that's the beginning chain of our row. So first we're going to do one single crochet into each chain, all the way to the beginning of our chain. Once you have gotten to the end, we're going to chain 1, then turn. And now this is the tricky part. We're going in, well, not super tricky, but it's the trickiest part of the stitch. So go into the 2 loops of this stitch, and then make sure that you aren't holding your yarn on your finger too loose. Then we're going to take our crochet hook and then put it over this first loop here, little strand of yarn. Then come around like this, and then pull through. Now we're going to let go of this loop, and then yarn over. And it's okay if there are 2 loops on the hook on the same area, because that's from the loop we just made. So yarn over, then pull through all 3 of the loops on your hook. Now we have the first loop. So I'll show you again. We're going to go into these 2, this stitch. Make sure the yarn isn't too loose. Then go around and pull through. Let go of the loop. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Now we have 2 loops. So again, go into the stitch, go around the whole yarn on your finger, then pull through, let go of the loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Now go to the end of your row of however many stitches you have left. Then I'll show you how to do the next row. And now we have our first row of loops. So for the 3rd row, we're going to chain 1, then turn. And then all we're going to do is do 1 single crochet into each stitch. So just do 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way to the end. And then just repeat the loop row for the 4th row. So chain 1, then turn, then go into the first stitch, go around, pull through, let go of the loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So I'll show you again. Go into this stitch, go around, pull through, let go of the loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So now we have 3 loops and the first row of loops on to our project. So you can just repeat rows 2 and 3 and until you get to the height that you want your project to be. Now let's make our circular loop stitch. You will need the same materials. To make the loop stitch circle, we're going to take the end of our yarn and the crochet hook and then make a magic circle. To do this, take the end of the yarn, then make an X on your finger. Then hold this end. Take your crochet hook, then go into the first loop, then pull through the second loop. Make sure you get all the strands. Then yarn over and pull through. Now we have a magic circle. So chain 1 and you can make as many stitches as you want, just like the square. I'm going to do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So then, once you get to the amount of stitches you want, slip stitch to the first stitch, not the chain that we made, and then pull on the end. If you cannot pull on the end, then that's because you did not make sure that you accidentally did not pull through all of the strands that I showed you when I showed you how to make the magic circle. So now we're going to chain 1, then do the same loop stitch. So go into the first stitch, then go around and then pick up the yarn, then pull through the stitch, pull through, then yarn over and pull through all 3 stitches on your hook. Now we have our first loop. So we're going to go into the next stitch, go around, then pull through, then yarn over and pull through all 3 stitches on your hook. So just repeat this all the way to the end. Once you get to the end of the row, we're going to slip stitch to the first stitch and then chain 1. So now we have our first row of loops, not including this strand of yarn. So since we do not have to turn like we did in the square, we can just keep on doing the loop stitches. So just do the same stitch, go into the first stitch, go around, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops Go into the next stitch, go around, go around, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and just repeat the this row until you get to the size of the circle that you want. You can make a rug with this loop circle, or even with the square loop circle, but it just depends on which shape that you want. Actually, do not do the last row that I just showed you, because in a circle you have to increase in each row. So if you don't increase, then it'll just become a tube. So after you slip stitch to the first stitch from the last row, we're going to chain 1, then go into the next stitch and make a loop stitch. And then in that same stitch, to increase, we're going to make another loop stitch. This is also to make an increase. So in the next stitch, we're going to do the same thing. Do 2 loop stitches into the same stitch. And just repeat the 2 stitches in each stitch all the way around. And then if you're trying to do a whole bunch of increasing rows so that you get a big circle for a rug or something, then you have to, so right now we're doing one increase in each stitch. Well, in the next row, we're going to have to do one single crochet in the first stitch, then 1 increase in the next stitch. And then in the row after that, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, then 1 increase in the third stitch. So it just, each row it just increases. You just increase the amount of single crochets, 1 single crochets you do into each, however amount of stitches, if that makes sense. To finish off, this applies to the square and the circle. You pull up this loop that was on your hook, then cut the end, take the loop, then pull the end through the loop, then just pull, and that's how you finish off. So just sew these 2 ends into the circle, and do the same for the square if you're making both. These are what your finished products can look like. For more tutorials, please subscribe, and also please check out my Etsy shop. Thanks for watching. Bye.